mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
The Coach's Show is brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to the First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. Danny Brewer here, man. I'm so happy to be joined with you. In fact, man, I'm finer than a doggone piece of fried chicken because I've got Barry Wortman on the line here, Blackman Blaze leader, boys basketball. Coach Wortman, how are you this morning?
Danny, I'm great. How are you?
Well, you know, it's a great time of year. We've got deep in the postseason of basketball. You know, baseball is on the verge. Well, high school baseball has started. You know, it's going to be sunshiny. 70s. I'll be in the swimming pool later. We got Tampa Derby. We got San Felipe Stakes. Man, it's a great day.
Hey, Danny, it's a great day for you. And, I mean, our staff, we're locked up here in this film room, so you enjoy the weather for us.
I will, Coach, I will. So, you know, the reason that you're locked up in the film room is because you're region basketball champions. Another region championship for Blackman boys basketball. Coach, the tradition continues. Talk about the excitement of all this and just the pleasure of continuing to do what you do.
Well, Team 26 has been just very consistent in their effort, very consistent in their play, very consistent to their approach, and I think that paid well for us. You know, down one with 36 seconds to play in the regional quarters to a really good Siegel team. You know, had to persevere there, and I thought played one of our better games of the year in the regional semis against Rockville, and then came out in a game of, you know, we had a 12-0 run on Oakland. They had a 15-2 run on us, and high pressure possessions for both teams. And I thought, again, I just think this team, like many of our teams, has been able to be very comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And I thought that bode well for the poise and the leadership of our team, and we were able to get that into the game, and especially into some of the very critical possessions that happened in that regional final game.
Absolutely, Coach. You know, I think the poise and the senior leadership is really what carried you, because that region title game was extremely exciting. I know, you know, people look at the score, they're like thinking, man, what a boring game. It was low scoring. But no, it was action-packed. Like you said, game of runs, back and forth. Looks like Blackman, looks like Oakland, and then it come down to overtime. Man, what an exciting game and extremely good atmosphere. But the poise and the senior leadership were big for you guys down the stretch.
It really was. I tell you, Braden Flowers just really, really ran this team, especially the last 2 months. He understands time and score, sort of understands what we want in late quarter situations, and understands clock management. You know, he's the coach's son, and he's just been really, really locked into running this team. And then we've had obviously a bunch of guys step up and play extremely well, not only last night but in this entire tournament. But you know, to win the end of possession at the end of the first quarter, second quarter, we thought we had it won at the end of the third quarter, and then Wiley made a really great play with about a second to cut it back to one, and then to get the stop in the fourth quarter with a changing defense, and then be able to run some clock in the overtime, and then run a little 5 chase play we run and get what we wanted, and have a great weak side rebound by Dorian Lyles to stick it back in. So really, really good management by our team, and great job of coming out of timeouts and handling, not being stressed, being down 4, just understanding how we wanted to do our little run and jump in a half court, and understand how many fouls you had to give. So a lot of leadership by our guys, no doubt.
Students of the game for sure. You know, when you talk about Flowers, there's 2 things I want to, you know, 2 shots that he made. That the one against in the championship game against Oakland, that wound up being what could have been the decision maker at the end of the first half in both the Rockville game and the Oakland game. Man, he hits a big shot right at the buzzer to end the first half, and talk about huge momentum for you guys.
They really are. You know, those are momentum plays, and I tell you what, one of my I've always had a really favorite play with a guy named Ed Kalu in our state semifinal game. We call it a shiny moment play. We show him a shiny moment from the NCAA tournament before every time we leave to play in a tournament game. And that we work on some special situations. In one of our special situation days, we work with about 5 different guys that can throw the baseball pass, and just practice that home run play, we call it. And Lathan also, he sort of emerged as a really good arm, and he throws the ball on a rope. And with 1.1 second left, Lathan just threw a razor home run pass to Braden, right on time, right on target. And then I thought Braden learned. We were in Alabama and had about a second and a half left against a really good team in Alabama. He sort of quick shot it. We talked about and he did a great job of catching it, pivoting, getting a great look at it. And I thought both of that play, pass and Lathan in the basket, was just those things create so much energy. It was just great plays. And then and I think I go back, so many big shots. Hayden Avant's pitch ahead shot when we're down 5 to cut it to 2 off a little zone overload play, and just so many good plays by our guys. Keller Jackson had a huge play to extend the lead for us. So some big time plays from some guys, no doubt.
Absolutely right, Coach. When you look at that game, overtime, you win on the last second shot. There's so many things you can look back at that were key moments in that game. One of the things I want to talk about, of course, obviously you're a horse player. I'm a stupid horse player. So we're going to make a parallel here. In the Azari Stakes at Oaklawn Park today, Older Filly and Mares, Nitrogen is a heavy favorite, but there's a horse that's running there, Standout Sensation, trained by Tom Amos. She's been in the money in 7. She's been in the top 2 in her last 8 starts with 5 wins. Standout Sensation. Let's talk about your standout sensation, Jalen McDonald. When it was clutch time in the 4th quarter and you had to have buckets, you got it inside of this kid, and he made plays around the basket. Talk a little bit about Jalen McDonald.
He really did. I give credit to Jalen and our team. You could easily settle or take quicker shots against, especially in zone offense, and we did a great job of identifying it's not as easy as it looks. He played below the zone, and he got some opportunities on ball reversal to slam the zone, and we threw him open. He was able to hold his seal and make plays, but I think the biggest thing he did in that game was he funneled back in some misses on that offensive glass, and we call it, the best pass in basketball is an offensive rebound. He was all over that glass for some big plays in that game to funnel it back in. 24 points, 12 rebounds, and in a low-scoring game like that, amazing. And he's just been so good and so consistent for us all year, but especially during this tournament run.
Absolutely right, Coach. Well, let's talk a little bit about tonight. We're game planning for Ravenwood. That's who you host on Monday night. Let's talk a little about Monday night. Monday night you host Ravenwood, sub-state game at Blackman. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we've gotten into them pretty good. I thought that Williamson County basketball is probably as well-played basketball as in our state the last 10 years. A lot of talent, extremely well-coached, a lot of good players. And it's amazing. They've sort of emerged. I've talked to pretty much every coach on that in that region over the last 24 to 36 hours. And the thing you consistently hear about is how connected and together and how they play through a really good player, maybe one of the top 5 or 10 players in our state. He scores it at a high rate. They play off him extremely well. You just tell how good they are. And they'll make you guard. They run great offense, but they know who they play through, and they all play off him extremely well. They got a lot of size, a lot of physicality. So they'll make you guard sometimes 2 and 3. I wouldn't say 3 minutes, but minute and a half if they don't get what they want for their best player. So we're going to have to value possessions like we did against Oakland, because if you waste one, it'd be like wasting, be like a 3 or 4 possession game. They value possessions. They're physical. They guard like crazy. And Coach Hooper's done a phenomenal job of bringing that team together. So it'll be a tall test for us. But at the same time, I love our team. I love how we're playing, and it'll come down to 2 teams that'll sort of mirror each other in terms of how they try to play, and I think that we'll be in a really good situation to play extremely well on Monday night.
Well, Coach, you've done a great job throughout the year of preparing your team for these moments because of your style of play, because you guys have pretty much valued possessions all season long.
We do. We try to play as fast as we can in transition, and then the better teams you play, it's not as easy to score. So we're built for tournament basketball. We like to think. So is Oakland. I give Coach Rutland so much credit. He really did a great job with his team, and that was two teams that were sort of built for tournament basketball, playing at a high level last night, in the region finals. So credit his team, credit our team, and I do think both of our teams will really be ready to play in these sectional games.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Certainly wish you the best of luck. 7 o'clock tip-off over at Blackman Monday night. They host Ravenwood. Coach Barry Wortman, appreciate it, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Alex Williams, Ron Reeves, and my boy Emerson Williams down in Smyrna. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.